Hi guys, welcome to Watch Me with Watches. Dan here again, and check out the green light. Why have I chosen green today? Well, that's because I've been kindly lent by Christopher Ward a green watch. This is their new release. It's kind of a vintage style watch. It's got lots of lovely design cues from the past, such as the elegant slimness and the dome sapphire, things like that. We're all going to cover in today's review, but I actually don't like this colorway. To be honest with you, I was kindly offered the chance to choose which one I wanted to share with you guys, and I actually wanted the cream dial with blue bezel GMT watch. And they said the only one we got that really I think is going to fit the bill is this one. But you know what? I'm going to see through that and see if this watch still has the X factor, which is what you're going to want to watch that's about £1,000 to have. Would I be happy with this if someone bought it for me? Well, who wouldn't be happy with a £1,000 watch? But what I'm getting at is this watch special enough with the huge amount of competition out there in this price bracket. Around 1,000, there's loads. You're going to see me chat about all that. There's a lot of different watches. So why would you buy this one? So let's get the deal breakers out of the way first, because some of you may want to switch off after these because there's no point wasting your time. This is £900 watch. It's a loan watch. It's been about, it's a bit like the village bike. It's been ridden by everyone. And I'm thinking, is it though? Because when I got it, it was immaculate. There's not a mark on it. So I'm thinking, are these few issues user related? I don't think they are. The first thing I noticed when I unscrewed this very nice little crown was, I'm going to show you, that's unscrewed. It should have popped. I'm going to start to wind the movement and look what happens. Oh, it's changing the date. So I'm like, what's going on there? So when I'm pushing that, there's like some resistance. It's not going back into the hand winding mode. So when I start to turn it, yeah, look, and I can't push it in to hand wind it. And then there's suddenly a bit of a pop then. Now I can hand wind it and it just doesn't feel smooth. So there is definitely something wrong with this watch. When you wind it back in, I think someone who's had this before me has been a moron and cross-threaded this or something. I think that could possibly be why there's an issue with this watch. And then sometimes when you want to push it back in to screw it, it feels like it's got a lump, like it's cross-thread. So maybe Christopher Ward, who kindly sent me this watch, you need to look at who had this before me and tell them off for being naughty and not knowing how to be careful with a watch. But I can't blame previous person, if there was one, for this alignment. Have I got squiffy vision? Is it me, or is that triangle just enough of a whisker to the left of where it should be? I think it is a bit squiffy, which is a massive shame because I'm like, oh, come on, it's nearly £1,000. It should be so perfect, but it isn't. Another disappointment is, see this red bit here? That's meant to be for letting you know before you go in the water, oh, I can see some red. I better wind the crown in so I don't get water damage to my watch. So, okay. Oh, bash the camera. Let's say your crown's popped out. Can you see any red there? Can you see any red? You can if the watch is upside down. But then if I wind it back in, go, okay, you can still see red. What is the point of that? Is that wrong? Is it moved? I don't know. Is there something wrong with this watch? Pointless red bit there. And while I'm on the moaning, I don't like this logo. It looks like something you would imagine a child would have drawn in Minecraft. I don't like the 22mm lug width. It's a 41mm case size, but the 22mm lugs makes it just somehow look like a bulkier watch. It's meant to be a vintage style watch. I think they should have kept it at a 20mm lug width. That would have been more proportional. 41mm, maybe if it would be better if it was a 38 or 39, but that's just down to taste. Okay, that's my opinion. Maybe offer different sizes. They offer this loads of different choices of colour, and you can get it as a GMT as well, which I mentioned in the intro. I would have liked to see the GMT, to be honest. I think that's going to be a bit of a trend upsurging because people are travelling again and interested in GMT watches a bit more, I think. I don't like the all green, but again, that's personal taste. If I was an Irishman, I would be loving this, but I'm not. This example came on a leather strap, beautiful leather by the way, very nice quality, and as it says on here, Italian vintage oak leather, beautiful. But it's meant to be a dive style watch. I don't understand why you'd put leather on it. Maybe it's a dress diver. White date wheel, I initially thought I'd be moaning about that, but I actually think it works on this watch because it blends in with the other indices, and here they're being white. So I think I've pretty much given this an initial pretty hot roasting. And people really rave about Christopher Ward being amazing quality, and I'd say a positive is the fit and finish is really good. And the brushing and the polishing is really crisp and smooth. It's very neat. The transitions, love these chamfers here on the lugs, really nice, very crisp. The machining on the bezel is gorgeous, and the bezel feel, it's one of the best I've ever felt. I'm not just saying that, it really is stunning. Lovely sound, beautiful feel, perfect weight. Ruined by the alignment, but then it's sapphire, which is cool. I like the fact it's got a sapphire insert, but the only downside, flip side to that is the fact that the loom in this, the BGW9 in the bezel insert, is not as strong or as long lasting as in the indices and hands. I think it should all be equal. You can do it. I've seen it on £200 Phoebus. Why can't they do it on a £900 Swiss made watch? The loom doesn't match in terms of its strength and longevity. That's a disappointment. Slight mismatch in colour and tone of the green between the bezel insert and the dial. I think they should match closer, maybe not have a sunburst dial, maybe keep the dial as an enamel dial, keep it green, the exact same tone as the bezel insert. I don't know, I'm just sort of being creative out loud here really, but I do like the little tiny bit of colour you get with the red as the word automatic here, just above the 200 metre, and the lovely big red tip on the seconds hand, the lollipop, that's really pretty, I like that. And then the trident aspect to the other part of the seconds hand's nice, that's very playful. I do like the hour hand, that is smart, very nice, very broad and easy to distinguish from the lovely long and thin and perfect length minute hand. I like the indices actually, they're very neat and very well proportioned, and the dial layout is spot on actually, it's very proportional. Always like a 6 o'clock date position, that's a real favourite of mine. I like this British Swiss hybrid side of things because I'm a Brit, I like Swiss watches, the build quality etc, but I'm thinking it could be more British. What's more British than a watch that is made in Britain or maybe has some quirky aspects? I mean, I would like something quirky in these watches that's not maybe a dodgy crown and a misaligned bezel. Is it trying to copy the fact that us Brits have wonky teeth? And don't know, I can't think of any jokes about wonky crowns. It's got that Swiss blandness without any of the eccentricity you may be able to get from a British brand, and I know Christopher Ward can do it. You know, they got fully carbon fibre watches with crowns which are hidden that pop out, and the entire thing is made of carbon fibre, and I just think if they're going to go vintage, which they're obviously very good at, they do so many vintage style watches, I think they dropped the ball a bit on this one, to be honest with you. It's got the right sort of height, it's got the right design cues and elements, you know, very compact lug to lug, but then they messed up with the lug width. They got the height right, but so they should, because they've got a very slim salita movement in there with some mild decoration. It's got some fancy word, what they call that decoration type. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. And then you got lovely dome sapphire, which is good, paying tribute to the acrylic crystals of old. And the loom on the dial and hands is really solid, really strong, and really, I think if you're going to have a dive watch, it's got to be good. But then for it to be practical, the blooming loom in the bezel insert should be equally as good, but I've said that already. But one of the main deal breakers for me going back to those is how much blooming competition there is for these neo-vintage, old-fashioned style watches for around this price point. As I showed you just a few in the intro, I mean, you've got Baltic, Zodiac, Yema. That's just a few, literally a few I've just plucked out. I mean, it was really easy to find those few. Again, around this price point, very similar movements. It's not a terrible watch for comfort, it's actually very nice. So I really hope Christopher Ward aren't too upset with me for being so honest and critical. Again, a lot of this is opinion based, but I really would like to see another one, to be honest with you. I think I'd like to see one with a bracelet, because I hear their bracelets are awesome, but I don't like this watch enough to say if I had £1,000, I'll go and buy one. Maybe in a different colourway, maybe if a few of the little foibles weren't there. But if you think that my review's been special enough, you know, I'd really appreciate you. If you've not subscribed already, consider that. And just check out some of my other videos. I've done loads. And a real mixture on this channel. If you like variety, I'm your man. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye for now.